Ni kama amenyongwa na mtu bana. Umekimya sana siku hizi. Umenyamaza sana.
Before I answer that, I say, no, I'm okay. Sometimes, you see what happened around November, I was literally just suffering burnout. Because at that time, there was so much work being done at the Senate level, and I wanted to comment on that. Then Matiang'i's candid presidency came, and he asked me to continue running around with him, because he's really my friend. And you have the family thing. So I was dealing with quite heavy things in terms of what you do with the kids. So let me say this, Jeff. There's a point I wanted to make, and I think for clarity, somebody has sent me a message saying that Richard Onyonka, stop that propaganda. President Ruto has actually employed teachers. My point is this, Jeff, and this is what we keep telling the people who work for government. We are not saying he hasn't. What we are saying is that the exercise is so flawed, it is so biased. First, it's anti-poor. A poor child who went to college and got a good grade of first class to get a teaching job. Previously, when I went to University of Nairobi, once you finished, your grade is what gave you where you were going. Your grade is what told you whether you are upper, second, lower, or a pass. But you see what is happening right now, whether you get a pass or not, if you have the money, Jeff, you buy these things. And what we're trying to say is, we can't run a nation state like that. Let us create structures so that when we are not there tomorrow, my son doesn't have to know that his father is a senator. He doesn't have to look for his relatives who are wealthy or who are able or work at TSC. So that meritocracy begins to act to help Kenya sort its problem. First of tribalism, and secondly, of bad governance.
All right, good.
The second point I wanted to make was this.
I should come before you.
The second point I wanted to make was this.
Yes.
Then you.
When we come to the issue of affordable housing and everything that the government is doing, I can give you the Rironi Road.
Yeah.
The company that was initially given the job by Uhuru Kenyatta was going to do that road at 156 billion. The government then cancelled that tender and then brought another company on board, which actually did what? We charged us 2.2 billion. The Kenyan government,
wait a minute.
2 point?
You said 150 billion under Uhuru.
Yes.
And then what does this contract has been given right now?
Tell me.
200 billion. So we lost an extra 40 billion. And that is the money you can pay teachers. That is the money you can give GSS teachers. You can give health workers. This 40 billion is serious money.
Okay, Professor Otieno wants to say something.
I wanted to just to add on what is now on the. Let me just clarify.
Yes.
When I said 400,000, because I speak through figures.
Yes.
I'm a mathematician in my
Yes.
life. 400,000 teachers were onboarded on SHA. So let's not confuse the figure. And I'm glad that you've confirmed.
Exactly.
76,000 teachers have been employed today. And Jeff, let me tell you, we have an excellent CEO. Evelyn Mitei.
Honorable Tom.
Doing a great
Hold on.
Professor Tom is diverting the attention.
Let me finish.
It's just important. Doing a great job because TSC has actually not just employed the JSS teachers, but now other teachers. His concern was that members of parliament who represent the people have been given slots.
No. Members of parliament who are privileged and have the capacity to influence to get these positions are getting them, not for any particular reason, to help their people. What I am saying, a member of parliament must never hold a letter, must never get it from the president.
The people.
Hold on. Create a system under TSC.
Okay.
So that there is fairness. That is bribery. Don't create a system which rigs. The system right now rigs the poor children.
Okay,
let me say this. And I had shown Professor a tweet when we went for the break. Somebody just argued that Professor Ojenda is laughing because he knows that he has been told that he's now the Sudi of the whole nation. Because sometimes, a professor is arguing like, there's no explanation, Professor, as to why a member of parliament should
handle a letter
for any kind of employment. Right. And you saw it when we had the pass out of the police the other day. A member of parliament is really celebrating and saying that
he took his
this guy was my watchman, now he's a policeman. So I asked myself, is that watchman a policeman out of merit or because he's near a politician. Now, tell me, just as Senator Onyonka is arguing, how to become, just wait, Professor, relax, so you shall get an opportunity. It's very difficult to stop shouting, Professor.
The way the system is set up.
No.
Okay.
The system is rigged.
All right, finish your point, and then we'll go to Professor.
Yes.
I mean, he's not even coming in because he has just spoken.
Even though senators.
Just wait.
Prof, I'm coming to you, Prof.
No, we are with you, Prof.
First, you can't shout, Professor.
I
mean, I'm a student, first-year student of law, and you are a professor of law. You can't shout at me. You just have to keep quiet and allow me to. Allow me to articulate. Now, let me say this, Jeff. First, it was very wrong for Professor to first say that projects are not coming to our counties because we are not following them up. First, there is no provision in the Constitution that asks me as a member of Parliament
to follow
worship William Ruto for projects to come to my county. Now, even for argument's sake, assuming that is actually correct, from Nyandarua County, the people who don't believe in William Ruto and who don't follow his or who are opposing his government are myself and the member of Parliament for Kipipidi. Just the two of us. So he has 4 members of Parliament. He has the county woman member of Parliament. So he has more worshippers than those who are not worshipping him. How comes the development is not coming to our county? I mean, if he just wants praise and worship like the way Professor is doing, he would have gotten that from this. I wanted to say this, and it has been aptly mentioned by Senator Onyonka. Any project that you see Mr. William Ruto very keen on, you must look at it with the third eye. An example, you hear President William Ruto always speaking about Talanta Stadium. Talanta Stadium is being done at a cost of 48.2 billion, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, that is a loan because it is the sports fund bond. And you know, sometimes I think William Ruto believes and his government believes that people are actually fools. For this reason, they want to take a loan off book because there are 2 ways of getting a loan off book. They will either float a bond or they float treasury bills. Now this one is a bond. Now this bond of Talanta Hela, we are supposed to pay it in 15 years. What is the interest? 15.8%.
And we can get it at 3.
Just wait. So for the interest alone, first we shall pay it for the next 15 years. The terms of that particular bond is that we shall be paying it twice a year. Now 15% of 44.8 billion will be about 7.2 billion. Yep. Every 6 months, we shall be paying 3.6 billion. Every month, we shall pay 0.5 billion for that Talanta Hela. For 15 years, interest alone, we shall pay 100 billion for Talanta Hela. That is interest alone, minus the principal.
Before the principal.
Minus the principal. So for that stadium that you are seeing there, it will cost us at least 148 billion. Now
it will be the most expensive stadium in the world.
Just wait. Not even Old Trafford, not even Stamford Bridge, not even Camp Nou, not even one of the biggest stadiums I've been to, Maracana. I mean, you've been to Maracana, is in Brazil. It's one of the biggest stadiums in the world, even in terms of capacity. It has not costed that much. And then every day you hear President William Ruto telling us, these guys do not have an agenda. The agenda is to just remove me. Let me tell you, actually that is our first agenda. Our first agenda as the opposition is to remove William Ruto. Because so long as William Ruto is the president of this country, this country cannot move.
Prof.
Maybe finally, just allow me to say the final thing. Because I know many things will be said. You've seen this off-book borrowing. You saw it in the securitization, the fuel levy for the next 10 years. It is my opinion, and this is my personal opinion, that either William Ruto has made peace with the fact that he will be a one-term president, and so therefore he wants to dig such a deep hole,
Anybody
that even
who comes,
the people who come after him, because why would he take that loan, the bond for Talanta Hela for 15 years? Now he has securitized for 10 years. I don't know whether you're understanding. We take all this money that we are supposed to get from fuel levy and we get it on the first instance. And we use it
in advance
to securitize. Now all that money is already spent. Now we are now on the second limb. We are now talking about the National Infrastructure Fund that is supposed to sell the assets of the Republic and also get loans from other places. 5 trillion, Jeff, is actually more than our national budget, isn't it?
Yes.
And that money is supposed to be given to some people without the oversight of Parliament, and it is actually outside the provisions of this.
Let me go to Prof. Prof, what do you have to say?
Jeff, just two things. Clearly, the 48 billion, the Atlanta Hela Stadium, and the borrowing that he refers to, and the bonds he's talking to, were conceived when his party leader, DCP, Rigathi Gachagua, and the president were together. I think that is not a doubt. Not a doubt. Conceived and now implemented.
So you now
so the point is, hold
that's
on,
why you are
hold
being
on,
called Sudi.
Hold on.
You don't know what to say that wrong is right because my party leader was there.
No. So do not say that Kenya Kwanza projects that were conceived during when Gachagua was in power are now wrong because they're out of power.
I didn't say they're wrong.
You do not say that.
You have all agreed that we all...
In my view, the fact that William Ruto is able to work towards hosting the AFCON and doing a project that it's almost through. The Atlanta Hela Stadia are going on. And I think you're referring to one project. There are other projects under that banner, the same projects, that there are many other projects that are going on. But let me say this, Jeff.
No, but Jeff, you can't allow that one to go.
Just hold on. And by the way, Sudi is a very brilliant man.
Yeah. You are speaking just like him.
No.
You actually make an admission that you are the Sudi of the
senior counsel.
Do not deride. Do not deride members.
I agree with you. Sudi is very bright.
That's very brilliant. I mean, also I mean, if you find him brilliant, it's okay.
You served with him in the Kenya Kwanza government. Remember, one of the key points in the 10-point agenda signed by President William Ruto and the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, then Lord Eternal Peace, was the national debt, a reduction of the national debt, and a discussion. I'm sure you are alive to that.
Yes, that is number one.
And under the NADCO report, the 16 bills that are developed, one of the key issues that we must deal with is compliance with some of this, ensuring that Parliament has a say in the national debt. And I think that our challenge as leaders should be to rise up to the occasion, raise the beautiful questions you are raising, ensure that Parliament is involved in every framework so that the extra-judicial or extra-parliamentary borrowing is not entertained so that governments are accountable now and in the future. But I think that, Jeff, does not undermine the fact that President Ruto wants to take this country to the next level. The Rironi Road is on course. He's talked about the ballooning of the bill from 150 billion to
200.
I mean, he knows,
yeah.
And you know that there are factors because of the contractors, the change of contractors, and inflation. Those are factors that led to the revision of the rate of that construction, and you know it. And I think those contractors, Jeff, are delivering. I often travel.
I want to support him.
They are delivering. They are going on well.
Okay.
Can I support him?
No. Let's switch gears. Let's switch gears here real quick. Gentlemen, we can't keep on talking about things. We're going around in circles. Real quick. Let me switch gears.
Yes.
You guys have been very silent on the alleged RSF passports.
Yes.
Passports given to RSF leaders.
Yes.
What is going on?
Jeff, I'm sure you're aware, at one time I worked in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
And that story is as sad and as incredulous as our Kenyan political experience has become. There is absolutely no need why a government would want to involve itself with an outfit that is known internationally as a pariah state, which is fighting, killing Sudanese people. There are protocols that Kenya has signed with the International Labour Organization, the United Nations, and if there were any people, if they were genuine and they wanted to be given security and residence in Kenya, as refugees, we have a process that is followed. So for us, once again, when you listen to the stories about the relationship between the president and these people from Sudan and how they're engaged in the trading of gold within our nation, some of it is coming from Eastern Congo and all the way to Rwanda, and this gold is the one which is making these people of Sudan then raise revenue for them to continue buying arms, to continue killing Africans. And if our head of state doesn't find that sad, knowing the history of Kenya, we have always been the country that allowed refugees to come. We were always neutral. We were always neutral. Look at South Sudan. Right now, the South Sudanese wouldn't want to step in Kenya at all. Look at what was happening in Namibia. Kenya was neutral. That's why we actually went and played a role. Kenya has been a country which was peaceful and didn't want to create any unnecessary...
And yet you guys are doing nothing about it.
The truth is this. This is the point we keep making, and Kenyans dismiss us just the way you have dismissed us. Jeff, this system is completely sold out. There are no members of parliament you are going to have who are not less than 3. You remember my member of parliament, Kibagendi, talked about the corruption that is in National Assembly and the Senate. Guess what? The president had pronounced himself that parliament is a den of thieves. But Kibagendi is kicked out of the National Assembly. Why? Because he spoke the truth. The reality we have is very simple. Let you people forget there is nobody who's going to change anything. And that is why I was going to say I'm agreeing with Honorable Tom Ojenda. Tom, you know very well. Even if we called members of parliament and we went to the National Assembly and to the Senate and we want to say, let us make sure we pass bills which are not going to allow some of the nonsense that is going on, we will not get the threshold. Why? Because that is where members of parliament negotiate which roads they will do, and they will pay, they will get those roads. A member of parliament will be given a tarmac road of 1.6 billion within a region of the counties because he's pro the president and he's a president's friend. And yet within that region, 5 other members of parliament have not been given nothing close to 200 million.
It's called loyalty.
Exactly, but that is discrimination, that's bad governance. What you do is you set up a structure, share these resources equitably with everybody, and if, because we operate in a rotten capitalistic system, if the president wants to keep some pork barrel, you are in America, pork barrel BS, he can then reward his friends. Now you are punished by not being a friend of the president, but the friend then is given a road which is part of the bigger transaction. That's how they share the money. And in fact, some of the contractors bring money to the dealers who are our colleagues and friends and people in the executive. And these are the things we are saying. We don't want our country to continue like
this. Prof, real quick, man. I mean, this speaks of a rotten system.
Jeff, my concern, I share his concerns around favoritism, around loyalists and around people who support government, and the 2 of them who are now in the opposition. That I share. But, Jeff, let us look back. The Mau Mau roads. Why did Central Kenya get a fairer share of road network during the time of the last president, Uhuru Kenyatta, and the first president of this country? Because we had systems that favored the executive.
The system is broken.
Yes, it was a bad system.
Thank you.
So why do you want to put President Ruto to a different standard?
No, because he was part of the Uhuru government.
We must also...
President William Ruto was part of the Uhuru government. He saw the bad habits. If Uhuru gave roads to Central Kenya, must then President Ruto repeat the same injustice?
Let me answer.
Absolutely not.
Let me say this. Article 27 of the Constitution on non-discrimination speaks to equal treatment of all regions of this country. Let the president give roads to Northeastern, to Western, to Nyanza and other parts of Kenya, which have previously never visited. When he gives roads to pieces... I'm saying, when he gives roads, when roads are voted for, and if they are agents, if they are members of parliament from Kisii, for instance, I don't know the ones he's talking about, if they get assigned roads, if it's the other MPs from your place, and you don't, why can't you just get some as well?
I'm asking, you hear that argument. You hear that argument that I need to compromise my beliefs in order for me to go and start singing and clapping for the president, for him to give me a road, and yet in reality, this is constitutionally an illegality.
So you don't want to be a psychopath?
Why should I be? I'm doing my job. I'm oversighting the executive.
Senator Prof. Prof talked about
my point is the
Northeastern and roads and stuff, right? And I asked you this question a while ago, and you didn't come back to answer it.
Nobody gave them roads at all.
No. Your party leader, DCP, former deputy president, who was talking about, he challenged governors to take development to the counties, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of Northeastern governors, let's face it, they live in Runda. Let's face it. But doesn't it trouble you as a senator that they spend most of their time here rather than in their own counties?
Let me say these 3 things very quickly because they are questions that you've asked. First, number one, if you want to study political hypocrisy, I think if there is an example of a person who would be a very good example, you should look straight into the eyes of the Senator for Kisumu, Senior Counsel Professor Tom Ojienda.
You're calling him a hypocrite?
Tom Odhiambo Ojienda, the man seated here. You know why? This man here, I want you to look at the events of, I think, the 19th of October, 2024. Look at what this man said at the floor of the Senate. This man said that he's impeaching Rigathi Gachagua on just one account, that he has called government a corporation of shares. Now he's now speaking about very same thing here. Him and his ODM Asili team are now asking 50% share of government. Him. I'm not speaking about any other person. Him. Now, just wait. You are a member of the ODM Asili. In fact, your own party leader. Your own party leader.
You have one party leader.
Yeah, you have. Yes, you have one.
Buru Odinga.
Yes. Your party leader.
Gen Z.
Yes.
Only.
Your party leader actually said that once the NEC has spoken, that is the position of the party. So that is your position. Point number 2. Now Kenya, unfortunately, has become a safe haven for criminals and gangs. You know, Rigathi Gachagua said that President William Ruto has direct interests with the RSF. He initially denied. But you know why Hamdan Dagaro has a Kenyan passport? The brother to Hemeti, the man who is killing children and women in South Sudan, in Sudan, sorry, with his RSF group. The reason why they are carrying a Kenyan passport is because during the days of Onyonka, when he was Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Kenyan passport has been a very respected travel document worldwide. Now, since there are travel sanctions against criminals all over, the only way they can travel is using a Kenyan passport. Ask yourself, how would it be that RSF generals are walking around with Kenyan passports?
Why are you saying that here on this forum? I mean, you don't say it out there.
We say it outside there. And
where?
Everywhere.
In Parliament.
We say it in Parliament.
In many places that we keep speaking. But unfortunately, William Ruto's ears are not meant to hear criticism. They are meant to hear praise and worship from Ojienda and his choir. Those are the things that he really likes to hear. That's why you see State House has become a place of
grandeur,
just
ballrooms.
I mean, go there with the aeroplanes. They will tell him, oh, it will be okay. Oh, everything is actually very. Kenya is actually now in the best place. We are just actually one step to going to Singapore. When Jeff, you have heard what Senator Ojienda said. You know, when that contract for Mau Summit was being cancelled, the president said that this bill of 160 billion is actually very inflated. We have to cancel this.
Too expensive. So let's
cancel this tender and get a better deal. What was the better deal? A 200 billion deal. Now
we lost.
If you look at
45B.
If you look at, for example, just one subsector of the education sector, the money that HELB required so that they can support the students at the university and TVETs was 54 billion. What they were given in the financial year 2025-2026 was 39 billion. What has been disbursed 4 months to the close of the financial year is 17 billion. Already they had a shortfall of 12 billion. They have now been given 17 billion. Already 22 billion has not been given. About now, like 600,000 students are at home. Jeff, let me tell you, when you hear William Ruto speak about the journey to Singapore sometimes I always want to ask myself, why does he want to really strangle, especially the education sector? Because that is one of the sectors that has been highly underfunded, including what Uhuru Kenyatta left as capitation for secondary school. He has not even been asked to add even 1 shilling. Even 1 shilling for capitation, but bring the same money that Uhuru Kenyatta was bringing in time.
Okay, are you gonna now answer my question?
Sorry?
Governors from the north.
No. Coming to governors from the north.
I liked it.
And you actually saw the kind of applause that my party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, got from the people from Northeastern. If you look, and I used to sit with the Senator Onyonka at the Public Accounts Committee, and you see the plunder.
You see the billions.
The kind of money, I mean, there is one county that had come before us, and Senator Ojenda, you remember. And the governor is saying that they have spent 540 million to give water using water bowsers. And we were asking him, how much would it cost to sink a borehole? So that if you sink a borehole this year, next year you're not sinking another borehole. How much would 540 million, how many boreholes would have been sunk with 540 million? And let me tell you, Jeff, these governors that you hear saying that we don't want to go to the Senate to be accountable, when they are coming to us for money, they are gentlemen. Oh, we now want, I think you sit in the finance committee. We now want the fund. We now want the RMRF. Once they get the money.
You know, this historical injustice and discrimination.
You know, when they are coming, they are very meek and very quiet. When they have already gotten the money, they don't want to listen to us. Case on point. When we were doing the formula for revenue sharing, there is some money that we passed that was for affirmative action for 12 counties. If my colleagues will remember, Nyandarua is one of those that actually qualified. When we were passing that 4 billion that would be shared by 12 counties, these counties were meant to do a separate affirmative budget for this extra money that they are getting, 371 million. For every county, Nyamira, Nyandarua, Tharaka-Nithi, Lamu, these small counties were supposed to, the ones that are not qualified to get 6 billion. Yes. We will give them a buffer or a cushion so that they're able to operate. Some counties like Eregeo Marakwet, they will not even do a project of more than 20 million because there's a small county. So we had agreed with them that you go and do an extra affirmative budget of 371 million. When they got the money, none of those 12 counties, including my county, agreed to do an affirmative. They went and shared it, put it in the operation, put it in allowances,
training,
put it in training.
Seminars.
I've seen that one county took MCAs. I think I've just seen it in the newspaper. One county took MCAs for benchmarking in Dubai. The entire county assembly.
Yes.
They went for benchmarking.
So let me as oversight.
Let me respond, Jeff, on this matter. The scenario you have in northern Kenya, and members of northern Kenya, and the story that came out, which our leader, Honorable Gachagua, came out with, those are the symptoms of the failed structure and government that we have. The symptoms are that the presumption is that northern Kenya is so far, it is none of our business, that the politics that is played there is different. In fact, the money that is taken is the complete, it's owned by the governor. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do. And you can't ask questions about it. Why? After all, if a governor decides to plant, like you saw, he was asked, what did you use 54 million for? He said planted avocados. That is in northeastern Kenya. And when he was asked, can you go and show us by the Auditor General's people? He said, that place is so far, we might even be shot by Al-Qaeda. We can't go there.
But
that is what has happened. Number two, the institutions that we created, including our Chapter 6, which was diluted, have failed completely. These institutions have been compromised deliberately. So that when individuals are building the skyscrapers here in Isli, whether you want to call it Isli, which I don't want to make it look like it's only the Waria or the Somali community that can build in Isli. They are in Kilimani, they have bought properties in Karen and Lavington and all these places. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with that is that they have taken the responsibility that they've been given in making sure that they can uplift their poverty, their people from the poverty where they are. like we were the other day in Samburu County. I was shocked that there are people who are being given relief food in Kenya.
How were you shocked?
And yet we are spending 6 billion shillings a month to renovate buildings. What happened to us? This is the question that some of us are struggling with. And we are not saying we're moral. We are not saying that our standards are so high, everybody else is a crook. No, we are saying, can't you see that the way we are running our country is not going to be sustainable?
The rain is beating us.
The rain is beating us.
Prof, let me switch topics here real quick. There's a war going on in your party. And you are a two-termer.
I knew
you are two-term.
And I have no regrets, Jeff. I am a two-termer. There is no war in ODM.
There's no war?
It's a
I said it's Onyonka.
No, it's a normal. But by the way, let me just correct Onyonka. We do not have ODM Sifuna. We only have one ODM.
It was the light touch. I mean,
Democratic Movement.
Tom.
There's only one party leader.
SG.
Yes.
My senior counsel.
But there's only one.
You understand?
Yes.
I was just.
No, so even Onyonka agrees.
Yes.
There's only one party leader. Oburu, Odinga.
According to the law, yes.
Yes, Oginga.
But I don't want.
And you're aware in ODM.
I won't debate that now.
Jeff, we want power in ODM.
They want power.
And there's no doubt. And that is why we are getting into a pre-coalition negotiation framework with the UDA party. The parliamentary group of ODM, in a meeting held only yesterday, resolved to work with UDA. And within that framework, a pre-coalition agreement, we are asking UDA to share government in half 50-50. But that is subject to negotiating and supporting President Ruto for a second term.
Let me ask you this.
I am a two-termer because I believe the president has done well in the area of infrastructure, in the area of health, in the area of education. He has done changes in this country that are palpable and that we can see. And that is the kind of president we want. We have seen real changes in my own county and in my own region. And that is why we are supporting a second. And I think that is a resolution that has been, now we are moving on 27th March to an NDC, National Delegates Congress, to approve the decision of the PG after the meeting of yesterday.
Tell me something. Is your party leader insisting on being deputy president in this agreement? I
have always said that in negotiations, nothing is cast in stone. The current deputy president, Professor Kindiki, has done extremely well. He's a very good man. He's done extremely well. I think that, of course, in the interest of balance, the Article 10 and all those things, you must balance the country. And I'm sure I see that President Ruto probably run with Deputy President Kindiki for a second term, so that we have a share of the 3,124,000 votes in Central Kenya. Remember, the Central vote, 3,124, compared to the Nyanza vote, which is 3,112, there's a very small difference. Our block in Nyanza covers the Central vote. The block is solid. All we need to do is have a solid vote. The Eastern block is 3,050.
You're saying you've done the math?
I've done the math.
Thank you.
And I'm sure with the math, President Ruto will get a second term. But let me say this. I do not want to preempt negotiations between ODM and UDA. But I think that it is only fair that government, and I think negotiations are not cast in stone. It is not, and Obura said this before, in as much as they would have desired to have the deputy president position, I don't think that is a must that they go for that position.
But he has to get something up there.
Yes, I think we have many positions up there. Government is vast. 24 cabinet positions can be shared. We can get a share. Of course, there are other parts of the country. So we have to have a fair share that reflects the face of Kenya. You cannot have a cabinet like the first cabinet that they had, where you had the share. We don't want to perpetuate the same ills that led to the impeachment of the government. We don't want that. We want fair share based on Article 10.
What if the Sifuna-led group, what if they refuse this deal?
The ODM constitution, in as much as Sifuna went to court under Article 74(3) to challenge his removal at the meeting held on February 16th, gives power to the party leader under Article 88 to discuss and to negotiate and bring some kind of I'm sure that, except for what he has said, I'm sure that the party leader is still talking to Sifuna and the other members who are driving the Linda Mwananchi line to be in line.
Senator Onyonka is just...
one strong party. No,
he's waiting. He's waiting for his turn.
Onyonka is saying
yes.
that Sifuna has already gone to DCP.
No.
No, he's gone
you
to
see,
the...
You see.
You didn't say that.
Let me talk. Jeff, have I said that? You see, I didn't say.
Also,
that is the boogie boy. You see, that is the... Jeff, that is the boogeyman.
Finish your point and then come to you.
That's even better, Jeff. Sifuna is there for an ODM, so ODM is solid.
Okay, Senator.
These days, Gachagua is the boogie boy, telling him how he's tribalist. He believes in shares. Now they're talking about their shares. What the senator, my leader, is talking about of his coalition of the ODM arrangement he's seeking for. According to him, they're already negotiating. No, Jeff, this thing was negotiated and done. It is just supposed to manage the expectation of the public. When the party leader talked about we want power, and he said, in fact, they are looking for the vice presidency, somebody must have called from State House, maybe, and said, what the hell did you say? Then he backtracked and said, no, we don't know what he's saying. They're managing this narrative beautifully. But I want to tell him this. Tom, some of us are lucky to have worked with Raila. Jeff, my life is not the same at all. From the time, most probably, I think, from 10 years ago. Because I've looked at this country and I've seen its contradictions. I have been there. I saw Mzee Kenyatta when I was a child. A little bit reasonable. I can't remember how he used to look. I've seen Moi. I've seen Kibaki. I've seen Uhuru. I've seen Uhuru with Ruto. I remember everything Ruto used to talk about Uhuru and about the dynasties and all that stuff. Yeah. And that narrative worked. But what we are saying, Jeff, is this. There are some things, even when in his death, Raila may not mean anything to these people. There are certain basic minimums that Raila stood for. I want to ask my brother Tom Ojienda. Tom, you are a senior counsel, you are a professor. What is difficult with opening the servers both for Uhuru and William so that we see whether the election was stolen or not? I mean, if you want us to have closure, you know how you fight? Kenyans have fought from 2008, including even Kibaki's presidency. Let us start, if President William Ruto wanted us to start afresh, and I would believe him, that's the first thing I would do. You remember him saying how they state capture. Every single transaction and everything that is going on is state capture. The way ODM is behaving, how my party leader, Mzee Oburu, I respect him incredibly.
A good man.
Like I used to respect his brother. But it looks like he's basically talking, doing things on behalf of somebody. And yet we are telling them, I don't want you to sign an agreement on my behalf if this regime continues first to discriminate against me because I come from a neighborhood. Most probably I'm a child of a poor child, of a poor person. I don't want you to sign an agreement with a government that is going to pick me as a young person who's criticizing it as a government, and I'm either abducted, killed, or violated. We had left that stage. I don't want Tom Ojienda today, if he changes his mind and he thinks President William Ruto is somebody he can't work with. Why should Tom Ojienda die or be attacked? We had left that. What we are demanding is very simple. ODM had an identity. ODM stood for certain things. Raila went to detention because Kenya had to change. The new constitution came and it has been being implemented. We have been talking about increasing revenue to the county governments to 45%, even 30%. It is left at 15%. The executive is now saying they're going to bring in 5 trillion shillings, and that money, instead of it going to the county governments, they're saying, we are going to infrastructure this. We will be building things for you. And you know, Jeff, anywhere on the African continent where billions of dollars are being put for projects of government, that is where the biggest corruption deals and transactions.
Are you saying the National Infrastructure Fund is a scam?
It's a scam. It's a scam. There's nothing there. Why would you start, Tom, you're a lawyer. Why would you start with bad faith? oh, we want this fund to come, and when it's going to be domiciled, we don't know where. And in fact, in the process, the Auditor General doesn't even audit this fund. And by the way, according to the PFM Act, the controller of budget is supposed to be the one who authorizes payments from the consolidated fund. They don't want that. What they want is this money to be taken to the Cayman Islands or to Panama Islands, to those areas where money is hidden after it's been stolen from the African continent. And slowly you will hear, when we are beginning to raise these things, they say, but even Uhuru, they were seen in the Panama Papers. That narrative, William Ruto was the deputy to Uhuru. Every single mistake Uhuru made, William was with him. We came in, very good people decided they are going to support him. We wanted him to sit down and think deeply how to make Kenya a fairer state, a state which takes care of its poor, a state that takes care of the most vulnerable, people with disability. We treat our women with respect on political power.
So if you're that passionate, why not just leave ODM and you guys can start your own party?
I most probably, with the way they are going, I will leave soon.
No,
with the way they are going. If they cross over and join UDA, I will leave where I can't work with President William Ruto. Because my job is, I'm in the opposition. They, by force, then demanding that I cross over to government, so that now I start saying how government is loved.
Let me ask Senator Matthew this question. Why the early campaigns? What's the rush? 2027 is 17 months away.
Well,
that's when William Ruto started his campaign against Uhuru.
Let me even say this. First, if you accuse, or rather, if you are referring to the United Alternative Government, the kind of things that we are doing, we went to Kisii, you were hosted by Senator Onyonk on Monday, we were in Kisii on Tuesday, we were in Kisii on Wednesday, we briefly breathed on Thursday. Then we went to Nakuru. The governor for Nakuru had to say that we cannot step in Nakuru because, she's in charge. She doesn't like the kind of politics that we do, so we can't step in Nakuru. But we were received overwhelmingly. We went all the way to Nakuru, went all the way to Nyahururu, went all the way to Nyeri. And this weekend we are going to...
Then our team, we went to Samburu.
Yeah,
the most beautiful place in the world.
Let me finish, Onyoka.
Yeah, early campaigns.
This weekend, we are going to Meru.
Yes.
We had the appointed soprano guy, Professor Kindiki.
Oh, that's the deputy president.
Yeah,
the deputy president.
Yeah.
Deputy president.
Yeah. No, he stands corrected. Okay. No, he stands corrected. He stands corrected.
If you like it that way, it's okay. Threatening that he shall not allow us to go to Meru, but we shall be there. Now, let me tell you, we would campaign if we had a candidate. The reason why we have not had a candidate is because the campaigns are not yet. We shall campaign. What we are doing is first listening to the views of the people. We are elected leaders. We want to see, and as we form our manifesto, we want to hear whether we are actually wrong, whether SHA is actually working. We are the people that think this SHA is not working. Whether indeed these things that we keep saying that are not working in William Ruto's government, indeed, that is what the people are feeling. Yeah. I've just had Senator Ojenda proudly speaking about the way Nyanza has this number of votes, I don't know what. I was in Nyanza. Or is Kisii not in Nyanza?
Yes.
I was in Nyanza. I was there the whole time. Everybody is saying that they cannot allow. It was only that the Constitution actually binds us.
Okay.
They cannot allow one more.
Let me ask you this. You're still in UDA, right?
Yes, I'm in UDA.
So who's funding these campaigns that you're doing all over the country? Where are you getting the money from?
Now, let me ask you, Jeff, let me say, what money do we need?
So we don't give people money.
What money do we need?
Come on.
Good question.
No, I want to ask Jeff. Now, let's take for example.
Rent a crowd.
Let me,
Jeff.
Let me, allow me to answer.
Sorry.
I've been asked.
Sorry.
Let me ask you.
Sorry.
I went to Kisii. I addressed like 17 meetings in Kisii. What was required of me is fuel for my car, and accommodation for myself, and accommodation for my driver. What else do I require?
And milk and bread in the car.
Maybe, I don't know. Let me tell you, the United Alternative Government was in Nyandarua on Sunday.
Yes.
I never spent a coin to mobilize anybody. In fact, if you look at the church that we went, it's just an ordinary church. Not even a carpet, not even anything. So, just an ordinary church.
So the loudspeakers just provide themselves.
No, those vehicles. They are there already.
Even an MCA can have loudspeakers.
Somebody has to pay for them.
Let me tell you. I have two vehicles. Two of my vehicles, two Prados that I donated to my party. So they are permanently fixed with loudspeakers. What is required of those prados is fuel to go to Kisii, fuel to go to go to Meru. By the way, let me tell you, when we were coming from Kisii, I can't remember the name of that hotel that we slept in Kisii.
Camel Park.
Camel Park. Just when we were having breakfast, some old man could come and came and told me, you are Senator Medu. I'm so happy about what you're doing. And he gave me 100,000. I mean, so even my fuel for Meru, I have it now.
Very true.
I mean, that is how the people, because the people can actually see the kind of sacrifice that Senator Onyonka, the kind of sacrifice that Senator Medu, you know, this man and the team that they're working with, at least they have, one thing that I like about them, they have basic courtesy. They observe table manners. They don't talk when they're eating. They are very disciplined. They don't talk when they are very quiet because it is time to eat.
Yeah.
That's why they are not very loud.
Yellow tables. The tables are yellow.
Yeah. So that's why because, you know, Senator Ojenda will pass by the minister.
Prof, you see how this story has been distracted. I asked them, where did they get the money? Now they're saying...
I've already been given...
But Jeff...
I've even given you an example of
100,000, yes.
Yeah, but even
Jeff, can I ask you something?
Let me ask Prof.
Can I ask you something? If you listen to what John Badi and Opio and I talk about the value of being in government and what government has done for them, would you doubt where those guys get their money to do these yellow things? The point we are making is this. For us in the opposition, and the significant point is that many people have been raising that we are being funded by some, sooner or later they might even say it is some crazy Jeff Bezos or something. The truth is, Jeff, look at our rallies. They are organic. We understand there is no money. We share what we can share. When money is available, we are all happy. When it's not there, we continue with each other.
We don't even have.
I have, like he has said, I have been receiving people sending...
There's no T-shirts?
No, the T-shirts are donated by people who pray.
People don't get 100 shillings each every time?
For what?
No, we don't.
For what?
In Kisii, I can swear by the Bible.
Senior counsel,
We never
agree with
pushed
this?
any money.
Jeff, I obviously do not share the views of course, first of all, Matthew, you must respect the deputy president. He's not the soprano guy. He's the deputy president.
No, he corrected that.
He's not the soprano guy. And he has a base for your information. And he's fine. Jeff, let me say this.
Yes.
When you go for rallies, and I've been to rallies. I've been to rallies organized by ODM and attended by the party leader. We've done many Linda Ground. You know, I'm part of Linda Ground.
Correct.
Linda Ground is, we are maintaining the strongholds of ODM. Because currently we have over 86 elected members of parliament, 20 senators, and 460 MCAs. So we must protect. And the PG resolved yesterday that we shall not cede ground in constituencies or wards where we have elected members. And that is the resolution of the PG. Let me say this, that these campaigns are expensive. Whenever you go to these meetings, you must fund, you must pay for fuel, as he said, you must pay for the PA system, you must pay for logistics. It takes some money.
It takes a lot of money.
It's not true. It is not therefore not true that you just go to a rally and people turn up. They must be told that you are going there.
Now,
hold on.
Yes, there must
Jeff,
be
Let him finish.
Jeff,
let him finish.
There must be facilitation for those who will tell those people that you are going there. There are people saying that Rigathi Gachagua will be Nakuru.
And for you guys, Sifuna is an SG and he's the only signatory and he hasn't signed any checks. So where are you getting your money?
Jeff, I don't sit in any
State House
committee.
Of course.
And I don't sit in a committee. I don't sit in
you hear my big boys from Kisii going to collect the money.
That you have attended.
That I've organized myself to fund them.
You fund them?
From my pocket. The ones, the facilitation, you pay from your pocket. As a member of the
you guys
party,
must be really wealthy, man.
No.
Can I tell you?
I think it's a joint effort. But I do not know. Sifuna, of course, does not sign. I heard also, the way you did, that there's no form of money released from the party to run. But I think members contribute towards the organization of some of these rallies.
You guys must be very rich.
And it's an expense.
Must be very rich.
For me, Jeff, the point I wanted to make is this. I have seen frequently the issues being raised and the contradictions that are being raised about our integrity as the opposition, and therefore, if the government is using state resources to do what they do, then even us, we are doing the same. Let me say this, Jeff. Historically, the struggle for Kenya's liberation and the changes that people have wanted have really never been who was able to buy the best T-shirts. I can tell you today, Jeff, ever since I was born and I got into politics, and my father was a member of parliament for many, many years, I saw Mzee Nyechai run for the presidency. I have never seen a crowd, the crowd that came to Kisii Stadium when Fred Matiang'i was escorted by his team of Mzee Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa. The ecstasy and excitement, there is no way you would pay that number of people money for them to come to a rally. Yes, we have coordinators who will come if, for example, DCP may have 100 people who are going to be told, please watch for us, monitor what's going on. Those ones, most probably, they'll be given their 2,000, 3,000. That, even Gachagua himself, with their contributions, can manage. What I want to tell them is this. Those crowds they see, since they have agreed they are going to keep the strongholds, and they are sure that their strongholds are okay, let them be magnanimous enough to allow us to just campaign. And we do the same for them. Let us respect each other. Allow me, the other day I was...
What you're saying is no goons.
I was stoned in Kisumu the other day. They thought my car is white like Babu Wino. They want to kill Babu. Oh. Why would anybody want to kill Babu? Babu is such a useless boy. In terms of, he's not violent.
Babu
just wait,
useless.
wait. I have never seen Babu where I see violence with him.
I know, but...
That's why I'm saying he's useless. I've never been around Babu since he was elected, and I saw his value in beating people and that kind of thing. What we are saying...
You're saying useless in a good way?
Yes. What I'm saying is, I do not want this gentleman to target us.
Yes.
Even Eva was killed today, Jeff.
But
there are other people who will continue with this journey.
Okay, but Senator Matthew, they say you people have goons as well. That's what they're saying.
Even before we get to goons will be the secondary thing. Number one, what would want to ask?
Useless.
You know, tell me, now maybe we have goons, but do we have police? Because I mean, all our meetings, you never see their meetings of Linda Oburu. Linda Ground.
No, not Oburu. Linda Ground.
Linda Ground. We never see them tear gas, isn't it? But
Linda Oburu.
Linda Oburu and Linda Duta. You never see tear gas. You saw on that Wetima attack. And by the way, even before you say that we have to spend a lot of money, when Rigathi Gachagua went to the US, remember, I personally, you will not call me a billionaire like Ogenda. You can't say of the same, like, maybe you can call him a rich man. His father was a
No. I'm a chicken farmer.
Okay, maybe he's a chicken farmer. But if he's a chicken farmer, maybe a mere man.
Saying Ogenda's a billionaire.
Yes.
I mean, okay.
Tom is big. Tom is big. He made his money before coming to...
Let me say this. I mean, even him, his farm was being paid a lot of money even before he came to politics.
Can we focus?
When he's okay, billionaire. When Rigathi Gachagua went to the US, I personally did like maybe 30 rallies by myself. You saw me tear gas in Subukia. I went all the way to Nakuru. We went to Wetima, to Muranga when we were just almost being killed. We went all the way to Laikipia. I know because I have been and I have ran these rallies. First, because not many people love William Ruto, especially from the region that I come from. It is very easy to put crowds. They just want to hear what you want. Okay, they just come and they will come and sing with us and those kind of things. But the thing that we would want to ask, what is this nexus between goons and police? Because in Wetima, you saw it. And even when we went to the Inspector General, when we went to his office, before he ran away the second time, he actually admitted, indeed, that 2 police Land Rovers went to attack Rigathi Gachagua in Wetima, right from Nairobi. You saw goons walk hand in hand with the police. Even before we get the goons, Jeff, why can't William Ruto allow? Everybody has freedom of association. Yeah. Everybody should be able to campaign the best way.
Within the law.
In fact, what I say is this: if William Ruto and his two-term people want to come to campaign in my village in Jambini, if I think they have really hurt my ego and emotion, because I think that is what really hurts William Ruto, when we tell him that indeed you have this presidency and we are the people. Actually, Ojenda, on this bench, I'm not sure of the person who is on the extreme left, but at least I know on this bench I might be the only person who voted for William Ruto. You never voted for him. I voted for him. You didn't vote for him.
I didn't
vote for him. I don't know the guy on the but I highly suspect. But even so,
and you left him.
So if the president and his team were to come to Jambini, they should say no goons.
No, you leave
guys
them.
have goons.
No.
If we have goons, how comes our goons never attack their meetings?
Prof, do you guys have goons?
Of course they do.
Jeff, I think terminology is important, and I think
It's becoming professorial now.
Do you have men in black?
No, let me
change it. Do you have men in black?
No, let me demystify.
Or men in green?
Let me just demystify.
Men in orange.
Men in orange.
Let me just extrapolate. Goonism is akin to some form of crime. You have youth who are unemployed and who are passionate about politics and would want to be part of a political activity, including a rally, and who are passionate in supporting politics. In the region of the country where I come from, youth are very, very passionate about politics. And I will never call them goons. Remember, there are criminal elements within the passionate youth in politics. Now, those criminal elements should be dealt with by the police in the event that they disrupt meetings or break some law.
What name do you give them, Professor? What name do you give them?
Those are criminals. Those are criminals. Goons is an improper term. It's actually a terminology that criminalizes every passionate youth in politics. And that term is very, very wrong. Let us say there are criminals in politics who should be arrested, but those who support and are passionate.
Social welfare officers.
Yes, they're youth.
But they are never arrested, Prof. That's the thing. They walk hand in hand with the police.
And that is where I agree with Matthew, perhaps, that the police should assume their correct place and know that they can only work with those who want peace and a peaceful process. But those who work outside the law, the outlaws, must be dealt with.
By the way,
just
one minute. Just one minute. So, like, for example, we are now going to Meru this weekend. So when the deputy president, stands on a podium like this and says that kind of hiyo siasa ambayo mnataka kuleta hapa Meru, mimi sitakubarisha. So what forum does he have to not kubarisha? I mean, who is he to say?
Number two, the second point I wanted to make is that when we had our function in Kisii, you have about 10 lorries from Nairobi carrying youths from some of the very vulnerable communities. We have the numbers, we give it all to the police and everything. These youths, once they arrive in Kisii, another set comes from elsewhere. We don't know whether they were coming from Uganda or Tanzania. Kenya's just become a crime scene. Then these youths who come, the war and the fight that goes on has absolutely nothing to do with us developing our democracy and making Kenya becomes a better country.
You know, a friend of mine just WhatsApped me, said exactly what you said.
Yes.
Kenya has become
a crime scene. It's a crime scene.
Gentlemen, lots of feedback coming in so thick and so fast. Ayub, what do we have?
Plenty. So let's begin with this that we managed to sample coming up shortly, and it's in relation to the discussion.
You got Zablon there?
So says the first one, Jeff, please ask the senators. Kenyans have already developed an hackable blockchain voting program with the ongoing disputes over Smartmatic. What are their thoughts on the adoption of this existing local technology? Could this finally restore trust in the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission?
Talk about an unhackable blockchain voting program.
Nobody will allow it to work because in Kenya we believe that the premise of running an election is first you plan how to steal it, then if you fail to steal, then you win it.
By the way, the two things that we took as petitions by the United Alternative Government when we went to IBC were two things. Number one, the resignation Omrajan, the CEO for IBC, so that we can restore the confidence. And number two, the removal of this mathematics.
Because that system is already vulnerable. We know its history.
You want it removed?
Yes.
Absolutely. And there are
Prof,
Kenyans, if you notice what this guy is saying,
Prof,
there's a Kenyan company that can provide us with this technology.
Okay.
But nobody will ever allow you to do that.
Prof, what do you think?
Jeff, I wouldn't trust a Kenyan company
There you go.
to provide a system used by Kenyans, and the system then would have integrity managed from here. You'd have a problem there. But secondly, the Erastus-led IBC, the new commissioners, has brought in freshness in IBC. And I can assure you that there was need to hire a new CEO.
Yes.
Because you couldn't allow Majan to run another election.
Yes.
He was part of the other elections that were largely questioned, and he could not then break his contract a month to the election. So the IBC is therefore doing the right thing. The commissioners are doing the right thing by hiring a new CEO.
Okay.
Let us trust the system. Let us all work to ensure that...
The only way you trust
let them move smart mathematics.
Prof, the only way you trust the system is you become transparent and explain to our side what exactly you're going to do, what technology you put, so that we can verify what you're telling us is true. Then we'll accept it.
All right, next.
So let's proceed. Next is from Owile. Says, ask the incoming governor of Kisumu County, Professor Ojenda, on how he will deal with low cash flow in Kisumu County and thereafter create opportunities for law students and graduates like myself.
Incoming governor, is that what they're calling him?
Yep.
Yeah, so of course, if you didn't know,
Someone
I
has seen
tell
Canaan.
you, 2027, I'll be the governor of Kisumu County. Jeff, let me tell you, this is very easy. The pilferage in the collections, and because all money is collected through processes, should land in the CRF, the County Revenue Fund. But a lot of things that I've seen in Kisumu County, for instance, the collection of rents, have been contracted to third parties, private individuals.
Yes.
So money does not come to the county. The entire financial system is therefore a mess. You need to have a centralized system where money from markets and other service providers comes to the CRF and is managed. And I can assure you that the huge outstanding payments to contractors, we have debts outstanding from the time of Jack Ranguma. Those will be paid if we streamline our collection system in Kisumu County.
All right, Senator
by the way,
Matthew, hold on. Senator Matthew, are you aspiring to a high office? I mean, we've heard governor.
Well, first, I don't intend to run for governor. First, I want to wish my brother, Senator Ojenda, well.
And me.
And him, he's also running. I was
running
for governor.
Yes.
Initially, now Professor Ojenda has a real chance of becoming governor. Initially, he didn't.
What about Senator?
Him, I was with him. I think he has a very, very, very good chance of becoming governor. Initially, he didn't have a chance of.
Why don't you want to be governor of?
Because he defied his party leader when he was elected as senator. He initially crossed over to William Ruto, and him and 10 others were the ones that had already been marked
Not
as
answering the question.
I saw
Why
for
don't you want to run for governor?
Sorry? What is that question?
Why don't you want to run for governor?
I mean, because we still want to continue working for the people at the national level.
Okay.
Next
is from Skipleting. Says, ask the so-called opposition, don't they have agenda and solutions to real issues affecting Kenyans? My question to Honorable Medhu Anonyonka is, other than chanting the one-term slogan in their rallies, can they lay down their agenda?
Can I respond?
You did that already. You talked about education.
I said, why would you want me to tell you the agenda when I'm telling you that the problem with Kenya is excessive amounts of corruption? Do I need to sit down and do a paper for you? No. When I tell you that we have a problem with education, exams are being stolen again, capitation money is not going to schools, we don't know what's happening on CBC, do I need to write even no. When you're looking at what Tom Ojenda is talking about, all county governments have looked for external bodies to run monies of the county. Why? We understand why. When you look at all the things that are breaking down, we are not saying one term because it's music. We are saying one term because we believe that President Ruto has refused to listen to us and even listen to people around him who make sense, and everything he's doing is just to make sure that the country is run like a Ponzi scheme.
And to sum it up, all that Ojenda is saying, all that Onyonka is saying, and the reason why our agenda number one is one term, is that none of these things that we are saying we want to implement can be implemented
By Ruto.
when William Ruto is the president.
They can't.
Next.
Sankale says, my question to Medhu and Onyonka, why is it that they all don't like President Ruto? For Honorable Medhu went to an extent of not shaving his beards and hair. Onyonka, if he mentions President Ruto, he looks very mad.
Thank you.
What is it?
Let me answer. Thank you. A very good question. I have worked with President Ruto. At one time, I was the head of Tanga coordinating team in Kisii. I was defending President Ruto. Now, let me ask the gentleman who has written this message. If your president was in charge of a country where 300 kids are killed after being at abductions, where you find that every single transaction that this government conducts is just a cesspool of corruption, when you find that this government is lying to people that the SHA system is working, and I know, I was the first one who talked about SHA being a scam. I said the owners of SHA and the software in Dubai, they have talked with me, I have met them. I know, in fact, they told me the government now has taken another team. They kicked out the Mzungu who was running the thing. Now the money is being taken to Australia and other places, including Mauritius. We get these facts, and we are saying we don't hate President Ruto. I will never hate President Ruto. I just think he has been an inept president. He has performed below par. He believes that governance is about telling people what you can do. It's not. Okay. It's doing it and people identifying what you have done.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what administration and statecraft is. Secondly, I will not have hate towards Ruto. Why? Because maybe he doesn't understand what poverty is. From the time he left poverty, he doesn't understand that there are Kenyans out here who are hemorrhaging. There are people who are sad. They are bitter. There are kids who have gone to JSS, they have been sent to schools. Their salaries are not coming. The government is introducing no jobs with permanent and pensionable terms. Everything in Kenya looks like it's temporary. Shouldn't we question that? So I don't hate Ruto. I've said so many times in this show,
all right,
I actually respect the gentleman.
Let's go.
But he has underperformed.
I think he might be at a long time ago.
I can't, because he has underperformed.
That's your feedback. Let's go.
Thank you.
Alex Tarus. Hello, Jeff. Ask Methu about this. He has said he is going to shave if Ruto becomes a one-term president. How about if it fails to make Ruto a one-term president? Good bench, though. Say hi to Ayatollah.
I've already said it on this bench. Among us, these men who are seated here, I am one who voted for William Ruto. I voted for William Ruto, and that is why I feel... By the way, on the 14th of February is when I turned that 5. So I'm not as old as I look now.
Wow.
This is not even defiance, because I don't hate him as a person. But the leadership of William Ruto is inept. I feel that he has not lived to the expectation of
the public,
of what we promised the people. I used to work with him. I have been with him. I voted for him. I believed in him. I saw a vision in him. I saw a good leader in him. But what, if I look at William Ruto, a man that I voted for, saying that the young people should be shot on the leg, I feel so sad. And the reason why I'm confident that I will become neat in the next 17 months is because I've moved around this country. I've been to the coast. They told me they would remove him. I've been to my backyard, Mount Kenya. They said they would remove him. I've been to Nyanza just the other day with Onyonka. They said they would remove him. So I'm very confident that I'll shave my beard in the next 17 months.
Okay. George says, if systems and structures are valued more than the people they were built to serve, then the system itself has failed and must be scrapped. We cannot let a system kill the very citizens it was meant to protect. Sir Nixon says, Senators, most of you accuse the president of ethical shortcomings. Why don't you enact laws that govern, check and oversee the actions of the president and the executive branch, that which will correct the purported anomalies, okay? Parliament has that role, given, granted by the Constitution. Next is Engineer Lazaro says leaders should be the symbol of national unity. Divisive politics and selected regions with the development projects are not doing well to our cohabitation. Next is from Sam, who says, great panel, ask the Kisumu Senator why the government keeps focusing only on hiring teachers. What plans does the government have for other students who pursued courses such as agriculture, engineering and ICT?
You want to talk about teachers?
Can I respond to
Kisumu?
Oh,
Kisumu.
okay, yeah. Then I respond.
Jeff, I think The success of government, of this government, is not just in hiring of teachers. We have had 10,000 policemen hired. That has been there. We have various courses offered at the National Youth Service, many job openings, the Nyota program that has onboarded about 820,000 young people with funds to run businesses. We have the housing project that has also sucked in about 600,000 youth into projects, various cadres. And I think for agriculture, you know, agriculture is a devolved, I'm a member of the Agriculture Committee. Agriculture is a devolved function. Counties, it resides in counties. And what we need to do is to ensure that our counties perform their roles properly, to hire agricultural extension officers and other agricultural experts to serve in those counties. Because under Schedule 4, agriculture no longer falls at the center. It's out there in the 47.
Absolutely. Karanja Javan said, ask Senator Matthew, why can't he resign from UDA party if he no longer believes in the party manifesto and seek a new mandate under DCP?
Oh, by the way, Jeff, because you've asked, you know, the only small handicap that I have, and it's not to mean that I will not resign or I cannot resign, is that first, this is a job that I've been given by the people.
Not
This
the
is a
party.
job that have been given by the people.
Not the party.
Not by party. So I'll just have to go back and ask my people, do you think that we need to continue? Do we wait? And by the way, these people who keep telling me to resign, I actually forget that William Ruto was elected on the Jubilee Party, but he quickly moved on to UDA Party, a party that he actually founded himself. Article 37 allows us to associate. I can associate with, I mean, people who are, whom we are of, like mind. But it's not to mean that that is not an option that I can explore. If, by the way, it was just a personal decision of resigning, I would just resign. I'm very confident that the people of Nyara would vote for me because they now believe in this new party that we have, in this new party that will take us to the next level.
All right. Crispina says, why are crucial bills on matters such as altering our entire education system not being brought to Parliament? How would few individuals just alter our education system without involving people's representatives? Next is from Maddi. It says, please press on the passport issue. Ojianda has gotten off scot-free. Our sovereignty shouldn't be up for sale. Their actions have made our passport weaker. In my opinion, this is an impeachable offense. By the way, the ranking is 68 from 73 in the year 2020. So the passport
it's terrible.
For me, the point I wanted to make...
actually got scot-free.
I didn't...
Scot-free.
I didn't respond
to
the passport question. But, Jeff, I'm a student of international law because I've studied international law. The Sudanese conflict, the RSF question or fiasco, is delicate and complex. Kenya is a mediator. And to facilitate certain complex travels, passports have been issued. They are not without a just cause. And I think that there is a delicate balance between the integrity of the Kenyan passport and the need to facilitate certain international intercourse. And I think that is the problematic here. Let me not get complex, but the world over, when you have conflicts and the possibility of the lives of certain actors being jeopardized, international law allows a framework amongst nations. There's a practice that has been on for a while, where people belonging to other nations travel under certain passports. So it's just that President Ruto and Kenya is involved in this dispute. And there's the complication.
He can't get a diplomatic passport from his own country?
Do you know the passport your party leader traveled on when he went for asylum? Oburu.
That's the point. Is from another country.
Somali passport.
Somali. Now, look at that. And Oburu, by the way, Oburu has interesting credentials. Not only does he want power, but he's also a freedom fighter.
Jeff, could I respond to what you said?
You already talked about RSF, remember?
No, I'm not going back to RSF. I was going to talk...
We're going to get some final thoughts here because it's nearly midnight. You guys have to go to sleep. All right.
Okay.
We're going to start with let's start with the youngest man. He's only 35. I'm shocked. You're not 35. We'll start with the youth.
Yes.
You're still a youth.
I'm a youth, yes.
Yeah, he's a youth.
And I'll be a youth.
Final thoughts going forward.
Now, what I would want to say, more specifically to the people of Kenya, is to first encourage them. Please let us not give up on our country. We don't have any other nation. Let us not give up on the institutions. My second thought, and this is something that I deeply hold in my heart, that a country with a bad parliament and a good president is a country that will stand, is a country that can move forward, is a country that will prosper. But a country with a bad president, it does not matter the number of Onyonkas you have in that parliament, the number of medus that you have in that parliament. Because ultimately this authority, executive authority of the president, he has the tools of coercion, tools of persuasion, the things that you had Senator Onyonk speak about. He can give you 10 letters, go and employ a teacher here. He will come and call you and tell you that you have, you send EACC to you. He will use police on you. He will intimidate you, and all these bad things that can happen. So therefore, as a citizen, the position we must get right, it is that of the presidency. We have to ensure that we get a good president. If we get a good president, the trickle-down effect will be we have good institutions that will be respected. We have a good parliament, because he will not have any bills that, or he will not have any underhand things that he will be pushing here and there. And my final thought, and this is a personal opinion. It is not the opinion of the people of Nyandarua. It is not the opinion. It is my personal opinion. First, as a Kenyan, and second, as a leader, and third, as a person who has worked with President William Ruto. That good president that we are speaking about cannot and shall not be Mr. William Ruto. It cannot and shall not be.
Okay, let me. I don't want an answer to this, but I'll just say it before I forget. Why can't we live for the day where we don't give a damn who's president?
Thank you. Can I?
Unfortunately.
Why not? You know,
can I?
We don't care who's in that big White House. Life goes on for the rest of us. You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer.
This constitution that you're seeing here, has vested so much executive power to the president.
I wanted to say this.
Final thoughts.
You've asked a wonderful question. Why can't we?
Live the day.
Jeff, the truth is we have a state that, and I'm not really imagining this. I've sat in the Senate, I was a member of parliament, I've lived it all. That's why you notice every time people ask me, have you ever used corruption money? I say, you fools, where do you think I've been? I'm a Kenyan. What do you do when a police officer stops you and you don't have an insurance license and you're bad tires? You take 500 bob, you give him. We are Kenyans. Is that the system we want to continue with? Do you want a system where children go to school and they never know where they're ending? Leave alone that there are no jobs. That even those who are exceptional, so long as they come from backgrounds where their community is either the wrong community or they don't support the government or they're poor, by coincidence. Look at what is happening in northern Kenya. That we as leadership has decided that all we do is take state resources, continue buying as many helicopters as we can. Everybody wants to live in the most expensive neighborhood. People now go for playing polo in Dubai, and they come back via Brazil and come to Nairobi and say how they're looking at poverty in Kenya. And the reason why agriculture can't fail is because it has been developed. No, functions were devolved. The funds for agriculture were never devolved. We are keeping 85% of the revenue of this country within the center. That is why the center doesn't want to allow any member of parliament to oversight it. Why? Because the instruments of power, the financial controls and management, right now, everything has been broken loose. Whether Kenyans believe in me or not, read the Auditor General's report. All your money is being stolen. So what we are saying, Jeff, some of us are thinking, I say this so many times, President Ruto is an accident in this dysfunctional, corrupt system, which is capitalistic. He's not the one who created it. He found himself in it. Am I ready, and all these gentlemen, to carry that going on, where the winner takes it all, and if you lose, you can go and swallow a boat? And I want to thank the people of Kisii for welcoming me to run as a governor. If I do, inshallah, I believe I'll do an excellent job.
Senior Counsel, you get the last word.
Jeff, we need to change and have faith in our institutions, but also build those institutions. one such institution is Parliament.
Yes.
We need to be creative, bring bills in Parliament to change what we think is not working for this country. Let us not always blame the president. The president is doing his best for this country. At least in my county, I know that we have road projects that are going on.
9 billion.
The Moroni Mamboleo Road is going on, about 3 billion.
Don't forget, SGR is coming.
SGR is on.
And then they refuse to take SGR to Kisii and Kuria.
There's already a framework for compensation that's going on. We will have satellite cities along the way. And we're looking at investment in the Lake region. We have the Kabonyo Kanyagal project, 2 billion. We have another project in Lake Victoria. We have...
He's got everything.
You guys are lucky.
Yeah, he's got everything. And Kisii, we have nothing.
The point is, we have an education system that was in the earlier dispensation, but that is now on, and that we have to work with. I know that there are questions here and there. I've seen the question out there. Jeff, the president has done well, and I think, and I'm glad that Onyonka has not blamed the president. He has said that it's just a matrix within...
It's a consequence of this failed structure.
Let us support President Ruto for a second, so that he can finish these projects with
No.
Thank you.
No.
Gentlemen, this is my conclusion for this. This is my conclusion.
Hot.
Smoking
on.
Great conversation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your time. You guys are great, and you spoke your mind and speak your mind.
Yes.
Keep doing it.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
the only way we can build this country.
Absolutely.
Senator Matthew said, there's no other Kenya to go to. The kid is 35 years old. He knows this.
He ain't going nowhere.
You know what I'm saying?
And he has not shaved.
Exactly. Ayatollah Matthew. Thanks so much for being a part of this show, folks. You know, if every Wednesday it's all about those 3 letters on the keyboard that follow each other. JKL. If you don't believe me, check your keyboard and you can see for yourself. Thanks so much, folks. Good night. Good luck. God bless this beautiful nation of ours called Kenya. We have no choice. I will see you.
Thank you.